Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Hello, everybody. Emio, the Smiling Man Famicom Detective Club demo. Hopefully my jump scare got you. And if not, perhaps you'll have a chance to get me with jump scares. Maybe the game will get me, who knows? I know nothing about this game. Luftwagen, sad Ellie Wood. I love it. Yeah, I know nothing about this game yet. I just heard a demo is coming out today, and given that this is... I shouldn't say I know nothing. I know it's a horror game, and I know it's a first-party M-rated title from Nintendo. So, autosave settings, all scenes, only read text. Skipped in skip mode. Only read text. Display speed normal. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. So yeah, all I know, it's a first-party M-rated title from Nintendo. It's horror, and the advertisement for it looked pretty creepy. Yeah, the music is interesting. Not what I was expecting. But that's not really a bad thing, I don't think. I'm just excited to see where this goes. Honestly, I'm ready to start. So without further ado, if we all just want to sit back, relax, pop the tab, and or take a little sippy sip on our preferred beverages. Maybe take a little something. Maybe you already took a little something. Who knows? Maybe you did a massive rip on your vape right before this. Who knows? What's important is that we are here now together. I need to sippy sip. Thank you. Shout out Floof, whom I commandeered the terminology sippy sip from. Yeah, we are ready to rock and roll. So with that, let's play the animation and get right to it. Okay, we are back. My studio monitors are blaring. Let us begin this investigation. All names, characters, businesses, places, events, and incidents in this game are fictitious. Any resemblance to actual persons, blah 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 blah.
日差しも暖かく、思わず伸びや深呼吸をしたくなってしまうような気持ちのいい朝。先生、おはようございます。
This is you, by the way.
僕は
See?
自分の仕事場である宇津木探偵事務所の扉を開けた。
いや、おはよ
今朝はいい天気ですね。あ、そうだ。せっかくなので掃除でもしましょうか。
So
先生からいいねという反応をもらい、窓を開けたその時。
So I know this is like a visual novel, but beyond that.
はい、宇津木探偵事務所です。はい。はい、わかりました。今から向かいます。
I'm gonna move the text on screen so that we're not running into that. Cool.
先生、何かあったんですか？
カマさんから応援の依頼が入ったんだ。ちょうどいい。君も一緒に行こう。
Ad break in 5 seconds. If you don't want ads, all you have to do is subscribe. Looks just like me. Just like you, Floof.
鎌田警部から。わかりました。
Scene of the crime.
僕たちが到着した現場は幸福市にある人気のない排水ポンプ場だった。
I suppose I should be reading these. Mr. Utsugi drove us to a drainage pump station in Kufuku City. Kofuku.
宇津木探
Kaufuku.
偵事務所の方ですね。
You're from the Utsugi Detective Agency, right? Glad you could make it.
お疲れ様です。
Of course! What do we want to do? Save, quit, investigation? Well, that's a quick, ask.
何があったんです
Listen.
か？
What's the situation?
ここで遺体が見つかったんだ。
It's a body, I'm afraid. Got an anonymous tip this morning.
男子中学生
The
の
victim
遺体だ
was
ったんだ。
young. I'd say
この
middle
被害者
school.
事件は
You never get used to this kind of thing. Where's Mr. Utsugi? I could use some help with this guy. Let's ask about... Okay, that's interesting. This is kind of giving me, like, Dragon Age Origins vibes as far as the asking questions and stuff. Let's ask about the victim.
着ていた制服から地
He's
元の
wearing
中
a
学生だと
school
見ているんだ
uniform.
が、
Local
身元は
junior
現在
high.
紹介中だよ。
Beyond that, we don't have a confirmed ID yet. Cause of death. No, time of death.
夕べの9時頃だと考
Our
えられ
best guess right now is around 9 o'clock last night.
考察による窒
The
息死。
victim was strangled, so asphyxiation. Observation?
気づいたこと。
Our observations so far? Let me think about that. Let's see, the victim's dead. Where's Mr. Oke? Call and engage Mr.
先生は
Utsugi.
向こうで警察の人と話している。今は僕だけ
Mr.
で話している。
Utsugi is over there talking to the police. Let's just listen to what people have to say for now. I've already listened to everything.
気づいたことね。何か。
This is the whole
夕べの
demo.
9時頃だ。
とにかく話を聞こ
詳細がわかるには、
Oh,
もう
okay.
少し
That's
時間
all
が
we
か
got
かるよ。
for now. Forensics is on it.
詳細がわかる。
So maybe there's more.
紐状のもので首を
The
絞められ
victim
た。
could have been strangled with rope or a cord or some kind of
被
string.
害者について話せるのはこれくらいかな。
I'm sorry, but that's all the info I have about that. Oh, but there was another observation.
う。あのことって
Oh,
何なんですか？
what is it?
実は発見された
Well,
時
it's not every
被
day
害
you
者は
find a
異様な
body,
様子だったんだよ。
let alone one that looks like this.
異様な要素。
Like what?
最初に見た時は正直ほ
Uh,
っとしたよ。
I get chills just
あんな
thinking
お
about
客
it.
さんを見たのは
Never
初め
seen
てだった
anything like it before. So,
君もあの被害者を見た
I
ら
don't think I can
きっと
describe
驚くよ
it. You might just have to see for yourself. Okay. What's this? Illegally dumped garbage.
廃棄されたゴミだ。
There's a lot of trash here. Some of the stuff doesn't even seem like it's broken.
自転車までが落ちて
That bike is in pretty good shape. Wonder if it's still rideable.
佐々木と書いてある。
It's labeled
元の持ち
Sasaki.
主の名前
Maybe it belonged to someone named Sasaki. Very interesting.
うっそうとした木々
Wonder what's behind those trees. I'm guessing another tree, but I'm no expert detective.
指紋検出をしている。
Looks like they're collecting fingerprints.
現場の緊張
The
感。
officer's mood seems pretty dark.
なんだい
What? Something on my uniform?
異様な姿の
How
被
bad
害者
can it be? I probably should see for myself.
その被害者の遺
Will you
体を
take me to see the victim?
それは
I shouldn't have said anything. Do you have the right kind of clearance for that? I might need to check with someone. Okay. On the other hand, I hate to bug them. You've done this before, right? You're letting me? Thanks, I appreciate your help. Is the volume okay? Let me know if the volume's, like, game volume's too loud. Just so you know, don't touch anything or anything like that. Hey, what are you doing? Huh? This is an active crime scene, officer. Your job is to keep the looky-loos out. No, you don't understand. Detective Kuze, this guy is supposed to be here. I'll explain. Hi, my name's... Hold that thought. Let's find somewhere else to talk. Alright. What did you say your name was? Please enter your first name. Let's go... Thick. It's not gonna let us enter our last name, so I might as well do Thick DG, right? Oh my god. Please enter your last name. Oh. Well, Thick DG. Thick DG Jenkins 4. I didn't think it would let us do our last name. Are you happy with this name? Thick DD Jenkins 4? Thick DG Jenkins 4. Yes, why not? I'm here with the Utsugi Detective Agency. Wait, you're PI? Who hired you? Well... So, sounds like you're about to ask me a question, but you still haven't answered mine. This detective seems pretty tense. I get the sense she's not happy about us being called in. Sorry, you're not getting out of this that easy. Answer the question. Look, if you want to investigate, you're going to have to answer my questions first. Well, we cannot call and engage. Answer me. You can look around later, if you're supposed to be here. She's so tense. I bet if I looked closely, I could see the stress on her face. Let's just look directly at her face. This must be Detective Kuze. Seems like she takes crime scene security pretty seriously. Wow.
Kuze-kun, gokuro-sama.
Ah, Kuze, I've seen you've already met our friend here. Oh, Inspector Kamada, good to see you. You don't mind a little outside help on this one, do you? This is Mr. Utsugi, a private detective, and this is his assistant, Thick DG Jenkins 4th. But sir, Utsugi and I go way back, don't we? Just a shame we're reconnecting over such unpleasant business. It's a pleasure to meet you, Detective Kuze. I'm sorry to interrupt your good work here. That's okay. It's nice to meet you, too. You know, the strangest thing, but I feel like we've met before.
いえ、
Hmm,
私立
I
探
don't
偵に
think
知
so.
り合
I
いはおり
haven't
ません。
worked with any PIs
鎌田警部、
before. In
私は
any
現場に戻
case,
りま
I
す。
need to get back to the scene,
失礼します。
Inspector Kamada. If you would excuse me. Sheesh. Can we go now?
鎌田警部から話を
Let's
聞
hear
く。
what Inspector Kamada has to say.
まだ中
Ah,
学
the
生
poor
か
kid was just in
か
middle
わいそう
school.
に
You
な
hate to see it. About Kuze.
驚いたじゃろ
She's surprisingly strict, no? Ah, but don't take it personally, Jenkins 4.
クゼ君は優秀
Kuze's
な
the
のじゃ
best we've
が
got,
少し
but she can be
真
hard
面
on
目
the
すぎる
others, herself
申し訳
too.
ない気を
Hope
悪く
she
せん
didn't rub you the wrong way, kid.
いえ、僕なら大丈夫で
No,
す。
sir, this is a tough situation. I get it.
神、あんた今何時だと思ってるのよ。
Kami, you're late.
ありゃりゃ
What's that?
また始まった
Ugh,
か
here we go again. Hmm.
また始まったって。
Sir, what did you mean when you said, here we go again?
あれじゃ
I meant what I said.
すみません、先輩。昨日
Sorry I'm late,
用事で
partner.
遅
The
くなって
traffic was bad and I forgot my briefcase, so I had to go back.
言い訳はいいの。どうせまた飲みすぎたとかなんでしょ。
You've been drinking.
だいたいあんたはいつも。
You might be able to pull this with another partner, but not me.
勘弁してくださ
Oh,
いよ。
come on, give me a break.
やれやれ
Ugh, what a mess.
クゼ
Gee,
刑事が
she's really ripping into him. Can we
い
go?
つもこんなだったこと？
すまんがそれは
Sorry, kid, that's out of the question at the
い
moment.
つものこと
あの男の刑事。男の刑事がクゼ刑事に。あ
Hmm.
そう
Didn't the
いえば
first officer I
さっきの
spoke
警
to
官、
say that the
被害者。
victim looks strange?
今呼んだら。
She might yell at me if I bug her.
先生とは
I can talk to Mr. Utsuki back at the office. So what can I do?
被害者は発見された時。
Well, I heard the
Ah,
state of the victim is
その通りじゃ。
slightly disturbing.
だから宇津木さん
You
が
could
来
say
てもらっ
that.
たんじゃよ
It's part of the reason I've called Mr. Utsugi.
どういうことなんだろう。
What would that have to do with Mr. Utsuki?
どんな様子か気になるじゃろ
Anyway,
君も
I'm
見せてやり
sure
たい
you'd like to
ところ
get your
なの
eyes on
じゃ
him,
が
and I'd take you right over, but
あの仏さん
I'm
は
afraid that forensics
ついさっ
is
き移送され
examining the
て
body right
ここには
now.
も
It's been
うもっと
transferred.
も君が調べるのはクゼ君が許さ
Well,
な
I'm
い
not
じゃろう
sure
な
Detective Kuze would allow you two to get a look.
常識的に考え
Good
れ
old
ば
Kuze,
彼女
following
が
police
正しい
procedures to a
確かに
T.
そうですよね。
Yeah,
でもまあ
But
これ
look,
くらいは構わんじゃろ
here's what I can share with you.
これが発見された時の
This
仏
is
さん
how he
の
looked
姿
when we
なん
found
じ
him.
ゃ
Oh,
とりあえず我々は引き上げよう。
let's wrap this up for now. You good with that, Thick DG?
はい、先生。
Yeah, I mean, yes, sir, Mr. Utsugi.
こちらから声をかけといて
I'm
君
sorry
は
you had
宇
to
津木
come
さ
all
ん
this
に
way.
いいえ。では
It's
ま
quite
た
all
後ほ
right.
ど。
Let's be in touch. Hmm. See, this is the title music I expected when I downloaded the game. You know? Like, that prologue, or whatever that was just like such a left turn from what I was expecting. Chapter 1, The Urban Legend. Oh, Bronhart, I completely missed the jump scare. I'm so sorry.
あの被害者の様子
Let me...
驚いただろ
refund. I'm sorry. I will get it back to you, I promise. I'll figure out a way. I'll figure out a way to make it up to you. Stealthy Devil redeemed hydrate. Everybody hydrate. We've got chapter 1 ahead of us. And Floof Dwagon redeemed stretch, so everybody get a good stretch in. Good big stretch. Good big stretch. I am going to redeem another hydrate. So everybody must hydrate again. It's important to hydrate. Utsugi. Wasn't easy to look at the victim, was it? It never is. But yeah. Ask about the
被害
victim.
者は佐々木英介
We got a few
15
more
歳の男子
details. The victim's name was
地元の公立中学の3年生
Asuke Sasaki. He was just 15, still in middle school. That must have been his bike then, because the bike had the Sasaki name on it.
佐々木
Haha!
もしや
Sasaki,
あの自
the
転
name
車
I saw on the bicycle.
死因は首を絞められたことによる窒息
As
死
you heard, the official cause of death was asphyxiation by strangulation.
警察は他殺と見ているよ
The police suspect
被害者には目
homicide.
立った外傷などはなかった
There
よ
were no signs of a struggle, which points to a surprise attack,
あるいは不意を
or
つかれた
someone the victim knew.
あくまで現時点での推
That's
測だ
just
が
me speculating, though. Hmm.
しかし何より気になるのが
In any case,
死亡した
what
彼
I'm
のあの
most
姿
concerned about at this point is that paper bag.
はい
Right.
先生は何か
What do you
心当た
think
り
it
か
means?
ああ実は
The thing is,
彼が発見された
I've
時の
seen
あの
it
姿
before.
18年前に起きたある事件の
Must have
被害者
been
とそっくりなんだよ
18 years ago now. We had a rash of cases like this one.
するとその当時の被害者
Victims
も
found with paper
Ano
bags on
kami
their heads?
ああそうだ
Exactly that.
今またあんな被害
It's
者の
not
姿を
something
見
I
るとは
thought I'd
思わ
ever
ない
see again. Murders from 18 years ago.
18年前
It was
幸福市
18
で
years ago.
連続少女殺人事件が起きたんだ
We had multiple victims. All young girls.
連続少女殺人事件
All girls? Hmm. There
18
was
年
an
前の事件に
incident
ついて聞か
18
ないの
years
かい
ago that may be relevant to this case.
留守電のメッセージは
There are no voicemails. Well, let's look at the surroundings.
今日
Hmm.
あゆみちゃんはまだ来てい
Ayumi
ない
isn't here yet. Let's look where. Let's look at the certificate of
僕もい
commendation.
つか
I hope I get one of these someday. Decorative plant. It's not even real. Phone. Let's look at Utsugi.
先生から話を
I
聞こ
should probably stay focused on what Mr. Utsugi has to say for now.
この観葉植物
Bought this house plant.
そういえば
Come to think of it, we hardly ever use this radio. Trophy.
僕もいつ
I
か
hope I get one of these someday. It's the same thing.
先生のグローブ
Mr. Utsuki's boxing gloves. They look cool hanging there. You can't argue with that.
年齢はまちまちだ
Let's
が
see. I believe we had 3 victims, all girls between the ages of 13 and
い
19.
ずれも素手によって殺
The
害され
killer used bare
つまり
hands.
虐殺だっ
Manual
たということ
strangulation.
しかもその全員が
When we found
笑
them,
顔が描か
they
れ
all
た紙
had
袋
paper
をかぶった
bags over
姿
their
で発見
heads
され
with
た
smiling faces drawn on them. Oh,
少女たちは同じ
we
年頃
couldn't
だというだ
establish
け
any
で
connection
特に
between
つ
the
ながりのようなも
victims.
のはなかった
They were all just around the same
そ
age.
してそ
And
の
I'm
事件は
sorry to
未解
say,
決なんだ
we never
犯人は
solved
ま
the
だ捕まっ
case.
ていないんだよ
Their killer is still out there.
じゃあ今回の事件は
So, we could be looking at...
同一人物による犯行の可能
Yeah,
性は
it could be the same person. Oh man,
18年前の事件の
3
被害者
teenage girls
みんな
strangled
女の
to
子
death by hand.
3人とも
What a nightmare.
18年前の被害者たちは
All of the
全て
victims
10代の
18
女の
years
子だった
ago
んだ
were teenage girls. Okay, the victim.
18年前の被
All
害
of the
者たち
victims.
こ
Observations.
こまでの情報の中で
It's a lot to take
被害者
in,
に
I
ついて
know. Do you
何
have
か
any
思う
thoughts
と
on the case so far? Let's think.
18年前の被害者
Doesn't quite
全
add
員
up.
女の子
3 female victims 18 years ago,
佐
and
々
now a
木
middle
英介
school
と
boy?
男の子だ
Poor Aisuke Sasaki.
18年前の事件の被害者
Doesn't
は
quite add up.
全て女の子だったんで
Why
すよ
would a serial killer
No.
who targeted girls 18 years ago come back
そう今回の被害者は
and
佐々木
target a
英
boy?
介という男の子だ
Aisuke Sasaki?
確かにそこは相違点だ
Yeah, I'm asking
もっとも、
myself the same
当時の事件
question.
の被害者が女の子ばかりだった理由
We
は
have to
不明
consider
の
the
ままだ
possibility that the previous victims all being female was a coincidence.
たまたまだったのかもしれない
We always look for a pattern. But we could be overthinking it. Hmm.
今分かっているのはここまでだ
I wish we had a little more to work with.
長い時を隔てた2つの
Still,
事件が
I
ど
can't
こか
shake
で
the
つなが
feeling
るの
that
かも
there's a
しれない
connection.
重要なことはちゃん
I
と
trust
手
you've
帳
been
にメモ
keeping
した
good
かな
notes. You never know when a seemingly trivial detail will make all the difference. Any important information you gather will automatically be recorded in your notebook. To open and review your notes, move the cursor to Open Notebook and press the
メモを
A
重視す
button.
ることは探偵
Why
の
don't
基
you
本
open
だ
up your notebook right now?
早速
Let me see
開い
if
て
you've got everything. Aisuke Sasaki, 15 years old, junior high student. A student in my Minami Dyson Junior High, the apparent victim of a murder. His body was found at a pump station in Kaofuku City. Suke's cause of death was asphyxiation due to strangulation. It appears he was choked with a rope-like object. His estimated time of death was 9 p.m. A paper bag with a smile drawn on it was found on the victim's head. The condition of Aisuke's body was similar to the victims of serial murders of girls 18 years ago in Kofuku City. Inspector Kamada is lead on the Aisuke Sasaki case. He apparently knows Itsuki for a long time. Junko Kusei is a detective working on the Aisuke Sasaki case, director of the Utsugi Detective Agency. He is known Inspector. Da-da-da. That's us! Thick T.G. Jenkins IV, 19 years old, assistant detective. An assistant detective at the Utsugi Detective Agency. Cool.
先生から
Is
他に
there
聞くことってあったっ
something
け
else he said that I'm missing? Huh?
あゆみちゃんが来たみたいだぞ
That must be Ayumi.
お疲れ様です。
Hi, guys.
あゆみちゃん
Hey, Ayumi.
何の話をしていたんです
Am
か
I interrupting something? You both look so serious.
僕と先生は
Utsugi and I told Ayumi everything we knew.
それってまるでエミ
You're
オの
joking,
話じゃないですか。
There's an urban legend. Haven't you heard of Emio? You know, the smiling man?
エミオ
The smiling man?
あゆみちゃん
Tell me about the
エミオって何なの
smiling man, Ayumi.
微笑みの笑みに男って書
You
いて
might also
エミ
hear
オ
him called Emio,
都市
a
伝
name
説の
that
一つな
uses the
の。
characters for smile and man.
都市伝説どんな都市伝説なの
And it's an urban legend.
笑顔が描かれた紙
Well,
袋をかぶった
The
男
story
が
goes that a man
悲しい
wearing a
女の子
paper
の前
bag
に
with a
現れる
smiley
っていう
face
都市
on
伝
it
説よ。
appears in front of a crying girl.
笑顔が描かれた紙袋
Paper bag with a smiley face on it. Are you serious?
うん、そうなの。
Yes, of course.
エミオは笑顔が描かれた紙袋
So,
をかぶって
like I said,
泣い
the
ている女
smiling
の子の
man
前に現
appears in front of a
れ
crying girl
こういう
with
の
a paper bag on his head. And he says, "Aw, you look sad. After all, I can give you a smile that will last forever." I went really fast. Ah,
そして女の子は殺されてエミオと同じ紙
and
袋を
they
かぶ
always
せられ
find
た
the
ま
victim
ま
afterward
その場に
with
置
a
き去り
paper
にされ
bag on
る。
her head, just like the smiling man wore. Wow.
というのが最も一
Anyway,
般的な
that's the
話
most
なの。
common version of the story.
エミオにも
You
いろいろな
said
話がある
that's
の
the
かな
most common version
他の
of the
都市伝説みた
story.
い
What are some other versions?
うん、
Well,
出会った時に
some
笑
say
えば
that if you stop
エミオは
crying
そ
and
のまま
smile
立
at
ち
the
去る
smiling man,
という
he'll
話もあ
walk
った
away
り、
instead of killing
エ
you.
ミオの素顔を見たら
But
殺
I've
され
also
る
heard that if you look
とか。
directly at his face, he's definitely gonna kill you.
笑えば立ち去る顔を見れば
So
殺される
smile and he walks away. Look at his face and he kills you. Got it.
でも泣いている
It's
女の子
always a
の前
crying
に現
girl,
れる
though. All
というのは
versions agree on that part. Hmm.
都市伝説か
So, the thing about urban legends
口頭無形なものが
is
ほと
that
んど
they're
だ
not
が
all
実際に起きた
legends.
事件が背
Some of
景に
them
ある
hold
も
a
のも
kernel
少
of
ない
truth.
今回の事件は
For
その
now, I'm
後者だと
treating this
考え
as
るべきなの
valuable
かもしれない。
information.
かなり複雑な背景があ
I'd
りそ
say
う
we
だ
have a lot of work to
今
do.
回の事
Let's
件に
split
は
up and get
とい
to
うところ
it.
で
Oh,
これ
but
を二
first,
人に渡しておくよ
I'd like you to take these. These are Pokedexes. With these, you can register all the 150 species of Pokemon.
これは
Are those
携帯電話
cell phones? Cool!
これで連絡が取りやすくなる
Please be in touch if there are
さあ、
any
受け取って
developments.
くれ
Go on, take them.
ありがとうございます
Thanks.
活
I'll
用して
keep
い
it
きます
close by.
ありがとうございます。
Yes,
お借りします。
thank you.
さて僕は
Now,
確か
if
めた
you'll
いことがある
excuse
か
me,
ら
I've got
出
to
か
go
けてくる
follow
よ
up on
調
some.
査内容の分担は
I'd like both of
二人で
you to
相談
work
して決め
together
て
and
ほしい
decide the best way to split up your research. Understood?
わかりました
Yes, sir. Understood.
いってらっしゃい先生。
Got it. See you later, sir.
あゆみちゃん
So,
どうやって手
how
分
do
け
you
しよ
want
う
to
か
tackle this, Ayumi?
その
I
前
think we
に
should start by
今日
reviewing
分か
our
ったことを
notes and
整
seeing
理し
if
て
there's
推理
anything we can deduce.
そうだね
Good plan.
今朝遺体
So,
で発
we
見さ
have
れ
a
た佐
victim,
々木くんは
Aisuke Sasaki, discovered this morning. Based on what we know so far, I suspect homicide.
その様子から他殺だと考えられている
ええ、そうね。
I think you're right.
そして
Now,
佐々木くんは発見された
Aisuke
時
was wearing a paper
笑
bag
顔
with
が
a
描かれ
smile
た
on
紙
it when
袋
he
を
was
彼の
found.
その姿は
There's a certain similarity. It's like the real it's just like the Smiling Man urban legend. It's like the real life case of the Smiling Man.
エミオ事件という
Because in the
実際に起きた
urban
犯罪
legend,
の
it never
犠牲者
says how he kills
よ
them.
く
In
似
the
てい
real
るよ
life
うだ
case, it said they were all strangled, I believe.
エミオは都市伝説よ。
You mean the urban legend?
そうだったよね
Yes, yes, of course.
そしてその都市伝説は
But what if the urban legend
18年前
is
に
based on the
報復して
actual
起きた
murders that took
連
place
続少女
18
殺
years
人事
ago
件を
in
連想さ
Kafuku
せる
City?
エミオの都市伝説は
It's
18年
possible
前の
a
事件の
horrible
元とな
incident
った
like
もの
that could have spawned such a morbid story, right?
その都市伝説と
Still,
佐
we
々木
need to
英介の殺
establish
害との
some sort of connection.
今回の被害者は
The victim
男の
was
子
a
なの
boy,
ね
right?
そうなんだよ
That's right.
先生の
All
話
three
によれば
victims in the older
18
cases
年前の
were
事件の
girls, according to
男の子の
Mr.
被害者
Utsuki.
でも無関係と
Yeah,
は思
it
えないわ
doesn't seem
ね。
likely that that was only a coincidence. It's probably relevant.
佐々木くんは同
That
じよう
poor
な
kid
紙袋をかぶ
Aisuke,
せられていたんだも
covered in
の
one of those horrible paper bags. Yeah.
他に何か気になることはな
Was
かっ
there
た
anything
の？
else on your mind? Oh. Emio, the Smiling Man is a famous urban legend. That's a cool photo. Nice and creepy. Supposedly, the Smiling Man appears in front of crying girls with a paper bag on his head, with a smiling face drawn on it. He tells the girls that they don't have to cry anymore because he will give them a permanent smile. Then he kills them. The story goes that Smiling Man leaves his victims where they were killed with the same type of paper bag on their heads that he wears. Why are we so certain the Smiling Man is a he? I get that it's literally called Smiling Man, but you know. The story of the Smiling Man is eerily reminiscent of the real series of murders that took place 18 years ago. Some say that if you laugh when you meet him, the Smiling Man won't kill you. Others say, if you see his face, he will kill you. Ayumi, an assistant detective, just like us. Let's think.
他に気になるこ
What
と
am I missing?
そういえば
Oh, I
今回の
should
事件の
mention that we
担当
met the
刑事
detective assigned to the case.
クゼっていう女性の刑事
Her
さん
name's Kuze.
先生が知っているみ
Utsugi
たいなんだ
seemed to recognize her from somewhere else. From
先生は
somewhere.
何とおっしゃってるの？
Has Mr. Utsugi worked with her before?
実は聞きそびれ
I'm
ちゃっ
not
て
sure.
よく
I
わ
didn't
からない
ask.
そうなのね。
Huh.
とりあえずどうしましょうか。
Well, where do we go from here? Shelves. We've got to organize the shelves. Anything else we can look at? Just shelves and Ayumi. Hmm?
何？
What is it?
何？
We're just gonna keep looking at her.
私は現
I
場を見
wasn't
てい
at
な
the
い
scene of the
から
crime,
何
so
と
I
も
only
言え
know
ない
what you told me so far.
先生
No, Mr.
戻ってきて
Utsugi, come
くださ
back.
い
We
よ
can't live without you.
なんちゃって
Kidding. What are you
何？
talking about? Good question. Let's think.
そうだな
Great question.
まずは
Wish I had the
何にせ
answer.
よ情報が全く足りてないから
Maybe it's worth
警察署
checking
に
in
行っ
with
て
the police
話を
again.
聞いてこようと思うんだ
Forensics could have dug something up by now.
じゃあ私は
Good
佐々
idea.
木くんの最
It's
近の
all
様
right
子と
with
か
you.
を
I
調べ
think
て
I'll
み
try
る
to
ことに
find
する
out
わ。
more about the
それ
victim.
でいいよね。
Poor guy.
頼んだよ
That would be helpful. Thanks. Oh, yes. Look at that flip phone. Look at these buttons. Nice. Let's travel to the police
じゃあ
station.
行ってくるよ。
All right, see you later.
私も出かけるわ。
Good luck.
私たちって探偵としてまだまだだけど、
I don't think we're ready for that yet, but if we keep working together, maybe one day.
そうだね。
Right.
じゃあまた後でね。
Okay, I'm off. See you later. Wonder if Inspector Kamada is even here.
近くにいる人に聞
I
い
should try talking to someone nearby. I'll see if one of those officers can help.
お忙しいところ
Excuse
す
me.
みません。
I'm sorry to bother you, but can you help me out?
こんにちは。
Hello,
何か
sir.
ご用なの？
How can I help you? Do you know if the inspector is available?
鎌田
Ah,
警部
you
です
must
か？
mean Inspector Kamada, right?
はい。実は
Oh,
僕、
yes, sorry about that.
ちょっと待って。
Actually, where do I
あなた
know you from?
どこかで会ったことあるわよね。
Haven't we met before?
どこで会ったん
You're
だっ
so familiar, but think
言われてみれば。
she seems to think she recognizes my face. She's
あなた
It's
と
you! Yes,
Ah,
that's me. And
あなたは
you are
はい。宇津木探
with the
偵事務所の
Utsugi Detective Agency. That's right.
ー
I'm sorry. You look
名前だったかしら？
familiar, but I don't remember your name.
僕は
So we recognized her, but it didn't explain from where. She recognizes us, but again, not explained. Oh, that's all right. I'm Thick DG Jenkins the Fourth.
ああ、そうだったわね。
Of course.
お久しぶり
Great
で
to
す。
see you, Thick DG.
お久しぶりです。こちらに
It's
転
been a
勤されたん
while.
ですか？
Did you transfer to this precinct?
あ、それに
I
メ
mean,
ガネを
I
かけ
should
て
have
いらっしゃるから
recognized you right
すぐ
away.
に気づきま
I
せんで
suppose
した
it。was the glasses that threw me off.
そうなの。少し
Oh,
前に
right.
こっち
I
に来たの
usually
よ。
wear contacts. And yeah, I transferred here a while back.
相変わらず素敵な不敬さんだな。
I remember her being a pretty sharp investigator.
鎌田警部から
Oh, right.
誰か訪
Inspector
ねてくる
Kamada
かもしれないと聞い
did
て
mention
いた
that
けど、
someone might be coming by. I suppose it's
今
you.
担当
I'll
の
go
刑事
see
を
if
呼び
he's
ます。
available. Thanks. That, 10 minutes of this back and forth, and we could have
Oh,
already been
what
talking to the
the-
inspector.
へえ、君が探偵だって。
Well, well, is this the supposed PI? Who's this?
この人確か今朝
Oh,
現場にい
it's
た
the
人。
guy Kuze was yelling at this morning.
鎌田警部は打ち合わせ中だから。
Just
この
kidding,
僕が
buddy.
君の相
But
手を任されたって
Inspector Kamada is busy right now, so I've been assigned to help you
はじ
out.
めまして。神
The
原
name's
大志です。
Daisuke Kamihara. The Daisuke Kamihara.
神原の神は
You
上
can
じ
call
ゃな
me
くて
Dice
神が
if
か
you
っ
want.
てる。
Most
とかの
people
神
want.
こんにちは。
Okay,
Utsugi
well,
Tantei
I'm Thick
Jimuso
DG
desu.
Jenkins IV. I'm with the Utsugi Detective Agency.
えっと、
Let me
今
use
朝
my
の事件の
brilliant
詳細が
intuition
聞
to
きたいん
deduce
だよ
why
ね。
you're here. Scoping out that murder, right?
はい。
That's
お
right.
忙しい中、恐
Normally
縮な
we'd
のです
give
が
your team a little more space, but the case is already so
オ
unusual.
ッケーオッケー。
Don't
な
even
んだって
sweat
喋っ
it.
ちゃうから
I'm your
何
guy.
でも聞いて
Hit me
よ。
up. I'll tell you anything, and I mean anything.
あ
uh,
あの被害者なんだけど。
I
実
meant
はさ
about the victim. Although, sure, I'll take personal questions too.
いきなりここで。
Why is he like this?
神原刑事。
Sorry to jump in,
奥で
but
話されてはい
we're
かが
going
で
to
す
need
か？
to take this conversation somewhere else.
そうですよね。
Ah,
こんな
fine.
ところ
We
でなん
can
て
follow
ねえ
procedure if you
貴重
insist.
なアドバイス
Thank you
あざした
so much.
探偵くん
Right this way, boy detective, to the fabulous interrogation chamber.
大丈夫なんだろ
Is
う
this
か
guy for real?
で探偵くん
Really?
そんな呼ば
Boy
れ方するのは
detective?
ちょっと
Well, maybe I can get something useful.
どうぞ。
Help yourself.
あどうも
Oh,
ありがとうご
thanks.
ざいます
I could use some tea.
さっさ冷めないうちにどうぞ
Yeah,
どうぞ
enjoy it, bro.
せっかく
She
お
never
姉
makes
さんが入れ
fresh
てくれ
tea
たんだ
for
から
me.
さ
Right. Let's look at this tea.
不敬さんが持って
The
きて
tea
くれ
that
たんじゃ
Officer made smells terrific. Her name is Officer.
そんなに見つめられたら
Dude, my eyes are up here.
あ
Sorry, I was literally looking right underneath one of your eyes. I'll be sure to look up here.
そんなに見
What are you staring at?
事
So,
件についての
about
詳
the
しい
case.
そりゃそうだ
Right, right. Not
Ocha
like
o
you
nomi ni shita
came
wake
here
ja
for
nai
tea,
ne.
huh? Right. Am I right?
さて
Ah,
Nani
fine.
kara
Where do you want to start? Let's start with the scene of the crime.
遺体発見現場は国道沿
We
いにあ
found
る
the
パンプ
body
場
at
の
the
すぐ
pumping
脇だよ
station, deserted
昼
location,
間
you
で
know.
もあんまり人が来なさそう
You
な
know,
場所だね
you were there.
今日の明け方
I think it
現場
was
を
one
た
of
また
those
ま通り
early
かかった
morning
人が通
joggers
報して
that
くれたん
found
だ
it. Joggers, always finding bodies. I mean, I love that line. That's not incorrect. Maybe I'll go out for a morning jog and find a fresh corpse.
まあくつろ
Make
いで
yourself at home. The victim.
被害者の名前や年
You
齢
already have a
は
few
もう知って
details,
るかな
right? The victim's name and age?
はい
That's
被
right.
害者は
His
地
name's
元の公
Aizuke
立中学3
Sasaki.
年
He
生
was only
佐々木英
15 years
介今朝
old.
現場の方にも行きま
I
した
visited the scene this morning.
お素晴
Yeah,
らしい
yeah, I
情
saw
報
you there.
そうです
And I saw you there getting verbally spanked by Detective Kuze in front of everyone.
佐々木英介はどうも
So the kid
夜
apparently
遅くに自
rode
転
his
車で
bike
現場まで
there.
移動し
We
たみたいだ
recovered it at the site.
現場近くに
That's
捨てられ
right.
ていた
I saw a bike with the name Sasaki on it.
そう不法投
Yeah,
棄の
it
ゴミ
was
に混ざ
mixed
って
in
た
with
自
all
転
that
車ガス
garbage. Such a shame. It's a pretty nice
気
bike.
づいてたんだね
Look
さ
at
す
you.
が
Nothing. Noticing things. Real detective shit. Well,
刑事の俺よ
I
り
mean,
優秀じゃん
you're still not a real detective. That would be me. Great. Time of death.
昨日の午後
They're
9時頃
telling us it was around 9
あの
p.m.
ポンプ
last
場付
night.
近は街
That
灯も少
time
な
it
い
would
か
have been
ら夜
pitch
になる
black
と
out
真っ
there.
暗にな
No
る
street lights at all. Great murder spot, obviously.
一体なぜ被害者があの
We
場所
still
を
don't know
訪れ
why
た
the
の
kid
か
would have
は
been out
ま
there
だ
at that time, of course. We're gonna take this tea.
いただきます
Cheers.
とうまいあ
Yeah,
のお姉さ
not
んが入れて
bad,
くれた
right?
お茶は
Bet you don't get to enjoy tea from a beautiful lady often.
はいとても
Yeah, it's good. It hits the spot.
いいな
Fresh
僕も後
tea,
でお
and
願
she
いしよう
didn't
っ
bring
と
me a cup. I'll ask for one in a little bit, I guess. Huh, you could just get your own.
断られるような気がする
I'm guessing he's going to get a no. Me too.
楽しみだ
I
な
can't wait. Take the tea
美
again.
味しいお茶だな
I don't feel bad. Let's
上原
think.
刑事から
I
話
should
を
keep
聞く
listening to Detective. Yeah.
被害者があんな時間にあんな場
We
所へ行った
still
理
have
由
no
はま
idea
だ
what the
不
kid
明
was
だ
doing
け
out there
ど
at that
現
time
場
of
横の
night.
国道を車
We
で通り
haven't
かか
ruled
った
out
人
that
が
someone
何かを
driving
見
by
か
may
け
have
た
seen
という可
something.
能性は
It's right next to the road.
でもさ
I mean, it's crazy, right?
普通そんな時間
Would
そん
I
な
have
場所
gone
に
out there
し
as
か
a
も
middle
男子中学生
schooler
が行く
at
とは
that
思えな
hour?
いよね
Probably not.
なんであんなところへ行ったんだろ
This whole thing is depressing.
う何をしにあそこへ行っ
What
たんだ
could
ろう
that
ね
kid have been doing out there?
何をしにやす
Alrighty. Let's ask about the victim.
被害者の佐々
As
木
you
英
know,
介
the
は
victim had a
発見さ
paper
れた
bag
時
over his head when
頭
we
に
found him.
笑顔が描か
Not
れた
just
紙
any
袋
paper bag, right? It had a smiley face on it.
そう
Yeah.
奇妙な
It
状
was
況だよ
creepy
ね
as hell, man.
しかもその紙袋
And the bag
どうや
was
ら
all
結構
dank and
古いものみ
old
たいで
too.
さ
Ugh, I'd die.
古い
What do you mean by dank and old?
科捜研で詳しく調べてるところ
Ah,
だよ
forensics is taking a look now. I don't know, it just looked gross to me, but we'll see what they find. That's
ちなみに
interesting.
今回の被害者が発見された状
Yes,
況
so
って
did you hear that there were
過去に起き
some
たある
murders
事件
like this a while back?
18年前の
I did.
連続
You're
少
talking
女
about the
殺
young
人事件
girls who were killed 18 years ago?
その通り
Sheesh. It's like you already know everything. That's our boy detective.
今回は探
This
偵
guy
か
keeps pushing that button.
その事件でも遺体の頭に
So,
笑顔
I
が
guess you
描かれ
already
た
knew
紙
that those
袋がかぶ
victims
せら
had
れてい
paper
たっ
bags
て
with
話もあ
smiley
る
faces
し
too, Mr. Smarty Pants.
だからそっち関係も含
Thought
めて
so.
多方面から
Anyway,
捜
that's
査していく
obviously
ことにな
going
り
to
そうだ
figure
よ
into the investigation.
複雑な事件ですよ
Right. Well, it's a complicated
18
case.
年前の事件の被害者は
So
全
riddle
員
me this,
女の子
boy
なんだ
detective. All those
だから
victims were
連
girls,
続少
and
女殺
serial
人事件
killers
なわけ
love their
でも今
patterns.
回の事件の被
But
害
our
者は
victim
男子中
is a
学生
boy.
ねえ探偵
Strange,
君
isn't it?
はい
Yeah, it is.
18年前の事件の被害者た
There's
ちと
another major
今回の
difference
事件
between
の被
those
害者には
victims and
もう
ours
一
that
つ
I bet you
大きな
haven't
層
thought of.
なんだかわかる
Care to hazard a guess?
それは
Well, they were strangled differently.
殺害方法が違うんですよ
Survey says.
大正解
You're right.
お見事
Huh,
その通
maybe
り
you
だ
are
よ
a full
探
grown
偵君
detective after all. This guy.
紐状のもので首を絞められたようだね。
そうだ18
Previous
年前はすで
victims
に
were killed
殺人
barehanded,
そして
but Aizuke Sasaki was
紐
strangled
状
with
の
a
もの
rope
で首を
or string.
首を絞められて殺
Ding
害
ding
され
ding.
たっての
There
は同
was
じだ
no
け
murder
ど
weapon 18 years ago. Pretty big difference if you ask me. Murders from 18 years ago. I want to find out more about this. You want to talk about 18 years ago,
探偵
huh?
君は当時のことを覚えてる
Why, were you even alive at that time?
あいえ
I mean,
僕が1歳ぐらいの
technically I
頃
was
な
1
ので
year old.
そっかそっか
I knew you were a
やっ
baby,
ぱ見た目
and
通
here
り
you are,
若
a
いんだね
full-fledged private
僕も
investigator.
探偵になればよかった
Maybe I should have been a
な
PI.
んかこう
It
かっ
must
こ
be
いいよ
cool
ね
to not have to play by the rules.
おっかない先輩に怒られる
Certain someone wouldn't be breathing down my neck all the
あ
time.
そうだ探偵君のとこ
Hey,
ろで
I'm
雇ってもらえ
serious. You
ない
think
か
your
な
boss would take me on?
神原
Wait.
刑事は
Do you remember
当時の
anything
事件の
about that
ことを
case
何
from
か覚え
18 years ago?
僕は当時小
Yep,
学生だったけ
I
ど
was in elementary
よく
school
覚え
and
て
it
るよ
was all over the
被害
news.
者はみ
The
んな
victims
未成
weren't
年
much older than me.
僕らがっていうより
I wasn't worried about it,
学校や保護者が
but the school and
大騒ぎしてたっ
everyone's
けな
parents sure were.
集団登校に
They
集
made us
団
walk
下
to
校
school in
近
groups.
所の大人た
And
ち
they
も
had a
付き
whole
添ったり
neighborhood watch thing
そ
going.
の様子は
It
さな
was
がら
like we were
大
in,
名行列
in a parade. Ridiculous.
は
Really?
なイメージねイメージ
No, not
僕
really.
も
It's
教科
called a
書でしか知らな
metaphor.
いし
Try to keep
大
up.
名行列
This
下
fucking
校時
guy.
はみんなで体育館に集まっ
Anyway,
てちゃんと
every day
揃
we'd
ってるか
gather
チェ
in
ッ
the
クする
gym to
んだ
make
け
sure we
ど
were all there.
たまに足りない時
Sometimes
があっ
one
て
kid would be
そ
missing.
の時は
Boy, did that
もう
cause
慌
a
て
panic.
そりゃそうなりますよね
Well, sure.
もちろん僕は
Yeah.
先生
Sometimes it
神
was
原
me.
君がいません
I could hear them all
Hey,
yelling
Yorick,
out for me and
Joe,
scrambling
Sakashimara.
everywhere looking.
迷惑
Sounds super annoying.
学校まで子供を
Of
迎えに
course,
来る保護者
some
もい
parents
た
would
し
just pick their kids up from school to avoid it all.
今改めて思うと
When I think
す
back,
ごく守ら
I
れて
guess I
た
was
な
pretty sheltered.
あの時は
Sorry
す
to
み
all
ま
the
せんでした
teachers I
と
annoyed.
まあそんなこん
Anyway,
なで
since all the
子供は
kids
日が
were
暮れる
safely
前に
inside before
犯人
sundown,
の商
I
売
guess we
上が
didn't
った
give the
んだよ
killer
ね
anyone to kill.
商売
Maybe I should workshop that joke. Yeah.
ただね
You know,
当時の被
I
害者たち
really
が
don't
奇妙な
remember the
服
whole
をかぶ
paper
せられ
bag
た
part
状
of the story.
そうなの。
Oh,
うん
yeah, I mean, it's
18年も前
been
のことだから
18 years. I guess
い
I
やでも
just
さすが
forgot.
にそんなショッキングなこと
It was pretty
忘れるわけ
shocking.
ないと思うんだ
How
よ
could I
な
forget that? Hmm,
紙袋のことは
paper bags.
覚えてない
Really?
な
I feel like I would remember that.
紙袋の
So we've exhausted all of those. We're gonna take some tea.
美味しいお茶だ。
Yum, yum, yum. And we're gonna think.
18年前に小学生だったってこと。
If he was in elementary school 18 years ago, how old is he?
20代半ばって
He looks
ところ
like
か
an
な。
experienced
それに
detective.
しても
Maybe a bit young, but
変わ
still.
った刑事さんだな。
He's a real oddball.
上原刑事は
Wonder if he's heard of
エミオ
the
の
Smiling
知
Man
ってい
urban
そうな
legend.
年齢だと思うんだ
I'd
け
say he's
ど
old enough to have heard it.
18年前の
Well,
事
I'm
件
gonna
を
ask
含
about the
め
case
多方面
first.
から捜査していく
We're obviously going to be taking everything into account, including those murders from 18 years ago.
上原刑事は
Detective
Emio という
Kamihara,
都市伝
are
説
you
を
familiar
ご存知で
with
す
the
か？
urban legend known as the Smiling Man?
エミオ
Did you say the Smiling Man?
はい。
I
微
did.
笑みの笑み
You
に
know, like
男と
a
書い
man
て
who's
エミオ
smiling.
なんですが。
They call him Emio sometimes.
知らないな
I don't
どん
know.
な都市伝説
What's the
な
story behind it?
僕は上
I
原刑
explained
事
the whole thing to
あゆみちゃん
Detective
から聞いた
Kamihara,
エミオの
just
都
the
市
way
伝説を
Ayumi
説明した。
explained it to me.
の
Whoa.
今回の事件や
I see
18
what you
年前
mean
の事
about
件
the similarities
妙に
between
近い
that story and this case.
何か関係があるのか
Is there any connection?
なただの偶然にしては
It
できすぎ
couldn't
ている
just be a coincidence, could it?
うん
Hmm.
僕今
Did I sound like I was
鋭いことを言った
deducing
よね
something awesome just then? I did, right?
はい。 多分
Maybe, I guess.
そうでしょ
I
そうでし
totally
ょ
did! Anyway,
Ah,
joking
it's
aside,
all
that's
about
definitely
the
something to think about.
情報提供
So,
ありがとうね
thanks for sharing. Huh.
なんだかつかみどころ
Hard to
がない
pin
ぞ
down what he might be thinking.
メモ
I'm filing that away. This fucking guy.
都市伝説
Yeah, the
エミオは
Smiling Man legend
今回
is
の事
pretty
件と
similar to this
18
case
年前
and to the
の
murders
都市
from
伝
18 years
説
ago.
ね
Urban legends, man. Hmm. Hmm. Why is he staring at me like that?
僕の顔
So
をじっと見て
intensely.
る。
Hmm.
きっと何かに気づいたんだ。これが
He
刑
might
事
have
の
an
顔。
observation to share.
やっぱり迫力あるな。
Maybe he's more of a detective than I've given him credit for.
実はさ
You know, now that I think about it,
とても
there's
重
one
要
other
なこと
thing we
に気づ
haven't
いてる
considered.
はい。
Go on.
探偵君
Well, it's just
あの父兄さんと仲良しなんだ
the officer who was just here. Seemed like she kind of liked you, didn't it?
いいな
Ugh, I'm jealous.
え？
本当に素敵
She's
だよ
hot,
ね
right?
彼女の
Ugh,
存
a
在
woman
って
that hot
ある種
and
の
she
都
wears
市
a
伝
police
説だよね
uniform? Now that's a legend. Oh boy.
彼女がここに転
I'm
勤
so
して
glad
きて
she
くれてよかっ
transferred to
た
this
っ
division.
て運命の出会いっ
It's like
て感じたよね
destiny.
え
Wow.
さすがは神原
That's why they
ほんと
call
つい
me
てる
Dice.
マジで
I sure am a
神がかってる
lucky
よな
bastard,
俺
I
って
tell ya.
神
Kami. Oh,
先輩
hi there,
お疲れ様
ma'am.
です。
Didn't see you
お
there.
疲れ様ですじゃないでしょ
Ma'am? What's that supposed to
あん
mean?
た何くだらないことくっちゃ
What
べ
are
って
you
んの
two
よ。
blathering
真面目に仕事
about?
しなさい。
Do
仕
your
事を
job. We've got a murder to solve.
違うんです。
No, no, no. It's not what you think.
この子が
I mean,
うちの
maybe it
父兄
is.
さんが素敵だな
This guy
なんて
won't
言う
shut
もん
up
だから
about how hot our coworker is.
若いっていい
He's
な
all, ooh,
みた
and
い
the
な。
uniform is the piece de resistance. What?
そんじゃ
Anyway,
失
I'll
礼
get
しま
back
す
to work. Toodles.
あとよろしく
Have fun, buddy.
出て行ってしまった
He's leaving just like that? Ugh. Sorry about that.
今朝はごめんなさい。
Anyway, sorry about this morning as well.
あの
Oh, okay.
あ、まだ名乗ってなかったわね。
Guess I haven't even really introduced
捜査一課
myself.
の久世純子です。
I'm Detective Kuze, Junko Kuze, Investigation Division 1. Nice to meet you.
あ、宇津木探偵事務所の者です。
Oh, I'm from the
今朝は
Utsugi.
お邪
Oh
魔をして
my
すみません
god.
でした。
あなたのことうちが呼んだって知
Oh,
らなかっ
this
た
is
から。
what, the third time they've
申し訳なか
introduced
ったわね。
themselves to each other? No, no, it's my fault. I didn't realize the inspector had called you guys in.
あ、いえ、そんな。
It's no problem at all.
ただし、
That said,
私の仕事の邪魔だけ
don't
は
get
し
in
ない
my
でちょうだい。
way. Understand?
あ、
Oh,
はい。
right, of course.
あの、
So,
ごめんなさい。
sorry,
仕事
I
があ
have
るから
work
失
to
礼する。
do. Excuse me.
行ってしまった
And she's gone.
上原刑事も
They're both gone.
久世刑
It's
事
just me in here now. Might as well look and examine things. About this room, right? Nothing to examine.
そうだ。
Maybe I should ask
Kamada came
if
over the
Inspector
page
Kamada is still busy,
Hmm?
just in case. Oh, Floofwagon redeemed hydrate a minute ago. Everybody hydrate. What's this?
お願いします。一杯だけでいいんで。
Come on, just one cup,
お
okay?
茶なら自分で入れてください。
Why don't you brew it yourself?
そんな。
Oh,
上原刑事
Detective Kamihara.
は
I just
Look,
really want you to brew it for me.
本当に言うんだ。
I can't believe he's begging like that.
あそうすれば、これからの
It's
捜
for the
査
good of the
も全力
investigation.
で
Trust me. Hmm.
はあ、
Man, I hope she hits him.
うわ探偵くん
Oh, hey, boy detective! Are you really leaving already?
もう。
Okay, bye, I guess. Hmm.
やっぱり断られてた
Took that one on the nose. Shrug it off, Dice.
見てたのね。今
You.
の。
You saw all of that?
ちょっとお
Um,
聞きしたいことが。
But I have some unrelated questions.
じゃあ、向こうで話しましょう。
Alright, alright. Let's find somewhere to talk.
上原刑事からちゃんと話は聞けた？
So, were you able to get some info from Detective Kamihara?
はい一応
Yes, more or less. Hmm. About Kamada.
すみません。
I was wondering if Inspector Kamada is available.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry, but I'm told his meeting is
打
running long.
あ、そうですか。
Ah, I see.
また明日にでもで
Maybe I should come back tomorrow. About Kamihara.
いろんな刑事を見てきたけど、
I've worked with a lot
あ
of
の人は
detectives,
特
but
別
that one,
ね。
well, he's something
あ
special.
なたは
You might
ああ
not
いう
want to
大人
follow
に
in
なっ
his
ちゃダメよ。
footsteps if you catch my drift. Ha, noted.
あなた
You've grown up a
少し
bit,
大人
haven't you?
あ
I had a sippy sip, Floof. I had a big gulp. Sorry, I really like that.
背も伸びたんじ
You
ゃない
gotten
かしら。
taller too?
背も伸びたんじゃ。
いつ見ても
She's as lovely as ever. this button?
いつ見ても
I'm guessing there's no one else we can interact with. Oh. Nope. Oh. Who's this officer? They're just staring at us the whole time. Let's come back tomorrow, or we can just wait. If you'll excuse me, I should head out. Please give Inspector Kamada my thanks for his help.
気をつけて帰るのよ。
Sounds good. Safe travels. Wow, there's going to be an ad break in... Oh no, there's already an ad break. It's going to end in 8 seconds.
ただいま戻りました。
Hello, I'm back.
おかえり。
Ah, welcome back, Thick
おかえりな
DG.
さい。
Welcome back.
君、今日の調
So,
査はど
how
うだっ
did it
た？
go today?
僕は警
Well,
察署に
I went
話
to
を
the
聞きに行って
precinct
き
to
ました
see。what I could find out.
鎌田警部は会
But
議中だった
Inspector
ので、
Kamada was in a meeting all day, so I spoke with Detective Kamihara instead.
そうか。
Is that
お疲れ
so?
様。
Well, thanks for tracking someone down.
あゆみちゃん、君は
Ayumi, what about you?
私は佐々木くんの家に行
Well,
って
I went to
話を
see
聞
the
いてきま
victim's
した。
family.
佐々木家はごく
The
普通の
Sasaki
家庭環
family
境
was
だと
very
感じ
nice
られ
and
ました。
welcoming. I felt like it was a good family home.
すごく辛いさなかなの
And
に、
considering their
真実を
terrible
知り
loss,
たいからと
they
言
were
って
so
ご
generous
家
with
族
their
に
help.
協力してもらいました。
They really want to know what happened.
佐々木くんやご家族にトラ
It's
ブルな
just
どはなかった
senseless,
よ
you
うで
know?
す。
Isuke wasn't
Tada.
in any sort of trouble. He was just a regular kid. It's just...
ただ、
Just what?
夕べ遅くに帰ってきた佐々木くんは、
Well,
そのまま
his
部屋
family
に
said
閉じ
that
こ
when
も
he
って
came
出て
home
こな
that
かった
night,
よ
he
うで
locked
す。
himself in his room.
今までそんなことなか
They
った
said
みたい
he'd
で、
never done
ご
anything
家
like
族も
that
戸惑っ
before.
ていたそ
They
うで
weren't
す。
sure what it was all about.
呼びかけても返事
He
がない
wasn't
ので、
responding,
様
so
子
they
を見
were
ることに
about
した
to
よう
try
なんです
unlocking
が、
the door, but
8時頃お
at
母さん
around
が
8 p.m., his
玄
mother
関付
heard a
近で
noise
物
at the
音に
front
気づ
door.
き見てみると、
She went to check, and
受話器を持った
it was
学校の
Isuke,
制服を着たま
still
まの
wearing
佐々
his
木くんが
school
いたそうなんです。
uniform, holding a telephone receiver.
すると佐々木くんは
So he hadn't been in his room after all.
驚いたような顔で受話器を置くと、また
He
自
dropped
室
the
に閉
phone
じ
in
こもって
surprise
しまっ
when
たと
he
いうこと
noticed
なん
her.
です。
Then he locked himself in his room for real. Hmm.
佐々木くんは誰かとってん
I wonder who he was talking to.
様子を見る限り、
Yeah,
そうみ
great
たいよ
question.
ね。
His family didn't
間も
know.
なくして佐々木くん
Anyhow,
は出
it
かけたみ
seems
た
as
い
if he
ね。
snuck out again after
ご
that
家
without
族
his
は
family
気がつかなか
noticing.
った。
Hmm.
今日分かったことはここまでです。
And that's all I have for now. I'll keep digging.
佐々木くんの身に
What in the world happened to this poor kid?
僕は18年
You
前の
know,
事件
I've
の
been
報じられ
digging
方
into
を
the
確認
cold
してきたんだ。
case from 18 years
ちょっ
ago
と
a
気に
bit
なるこ
more,
とがあってね。
and I'm concerned.
実は当時、
You
例の
see,
紙
the
袋の
police
こと
never
を
made all the
警察は
details
公開
public,
していなかった
in
んだ。
particular the use of paper bags.
なるほど。だから
Oh, so
神原
that's
刑事
why
は
Detective
紙袋
Kamihara
のこと
didn't
を
remember
覚えていなかっ
anything
た。
about
公
it.
開しなかった理由は
Do you
何だ
know
った
why
んで
they
しょうか
withheld that information?
うん。心当たりはあるにはある
Well,
が、
I have
そ
an
れについて
idea,
は、カ
but
マ
it
さん
would
か
be
ら聞い
better
た方
to
が
speak
確
to
実だろう。
Kamada himself about it.
わかりました。
I understand.
当時、警察が事件
Regardless
の
of the
詳細を
reason
公
why,
開しなか
if
っ
the
たの
police
なら
didn't
ば、
release those details at the
連続
time,
少女殺人事件が
then it seems a
伝
bit of a
説
stretch to
Emio の
assume
モデ
that
ル
the
だと
case is
単純に
connected
結
to
び
the
つけるのに
Smiling
は
Man
少
urban
々
legend.
無理がありそうだね。
でも、佐々木く
But
んの事件
the
と
legend
エミオ
almost
は
has
ど
to
こか
be
で結び
connected
つ
to
く
the
と考
current
えるの
case,
が
doesn't
自
it?
然ですよね。
In some way?
その通りだ。今回
Well,
の事件を
I
解
do
く鍵
think I
は
need to fully
この都市伝説
understand
に
the
あると
urban legend if
僕は
I'm
考
going
え
to
ている。
solve this case.
もしや先生、
You specifically.
ああ、
Well,
エミオの
yes.
ことは僕
I'm
に任せてく
fascinated
れ。
by the case of the
実に
Smiling
興味
Man,
深い
and I
話だ
want
か
to
ら
take a
ね。
deeper dive into it.
さあ、二人とも
Now
今日
then,
分かったことを
I'd
も
like
と
to have
に
the two of you
君たち
review
の推
what
理を
you
聞かせ
learned
てくれ
from
ないか。
today's
わかりました。
research.
始
You
めましょ
got
う。
it. Shall we, Thick DG? Review.
遺体で見つかった佐々木くんの頭には
So we have a
笑顔
victim,
が描かれた
Isuke
紙袋が
Sasaki,
かぶせられてい
who was
た
found with a paper bag on his head with a smiley
これ
face
と同様
on
の
it.
事件は過去にも起きていた
A series of similar crimes took place 18 years ago.
18年前だ
そうね。
Yes, that's right.
その通りだ。
Precisely.
18年前の
The
事件は
case from 18
3
years
件の
ago
連続
involved
殺人
3
事件だった
murders.
そして被
The
害者には
victims
共
all
通してい
had
るこ
one
とがあ
thing
っ
in
た
common.
それは
All of them lived alone, were teenage girls.
10代の女の
All
子だ
of
った
them were teenage girls.
ひどい事件よね。
It's so terrible to think about.
18年前の事件の
So the killer from 18 years ago was never caught. Oh, Bronhart redeemed stretch this minute. Everybody stretch! That was a good one. Felt my shoulders crack. So the killer from 18 years ago was never caught.
それと紙袋の件は
And the information about the paper bags was never made
となると
public.
その事実を知っている可
So
能性のあ
only
る
a
人物
handful
は
of people
ごく
know
犯
about
人
it.
被害者遺族
The killer,
当時捜査に当たった
families
警
of the
察
victims,
遺体を発見して
police who were
通報した人
investigating, and whoever found the bodies.
どう？これまでに集めた情報から
What
何
does
か
it all add
気づい
up
たこと
to?
はある？
Do you have any thoughts based on the info you have so far?
そうだね今の段階で言える
Well,
ことは
I suppose what I can say at this stage is we have no idea who killed Isuke Sasaki. Something seemed off about blank. What is this? Something seemed off about myself. I like that it lets you
There's
something bugging me about the victim.
そう
Really?
なんとなく
I mean,
だけ
it's
どね
just a feeling.
今日の調査で分かったことはそれぐらいだね。
Sounds like that's a wrap on our investigation for the day.
情報の整理
It feels like
きちんとしてい
comparing
かなく
notes
ちゃ
really helped. We're working together well.
そうだね
I agree.
期待しているよ。
I'm counting on both of you.
では、明日も手分け
Alright,
して調査を
let's
進めよ
split
う。
up and continue the investigation
私
tomorrow.
は佐々木くんが通ってい
I'll
た
head
中
to
学校へ
Isuke's
情
middle
報
school
収集
and
に
see
行っ
what
て
I
みま
can
す
learn.
僕は引き続き
I think I'll see
警
what
察
else
署
I
で
can
情
get
報
from
を
the
集める
police.
頼んだよ。
Excellent. Good luck out there. Very interesting. This is as far as you can currently play in the demo version of the game. Thank you for playing. A future update will allow you to progress a bit further in the story within the demo. The next chapter comes out August 22nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, I believe. And then the chapter after that comes out August 27th? And then the game itself is expected to release the 29th. It's a lot of reading. I guess, I mean, with a visual novel, that's kind of what you get. But it's very interesting so far. The first chapter and prologue, for sure, didn't really give me horror vibes until we finally got to the cutscenes, and it was like a complete shift in tone. I think it's very lighthearted for now, which really makes me question where it's going to go from here. And was the M rating because of what's coming, or because its story is about a child dying? Like, if it's just a story about a child dying, this could be a very lighthearted, you know, maybe lighthearted isn't the best word, but this could be like more of a detective versus more of a thriller kind of game. I think it could go either way. With it being Nintendo, I suspect, like, my intuition tells me that there's more like, I don't know, I'm split down the middle. Like, I think there's some more horrific stuff along the way. And the first prologue and chapter are kind of, the lightheartedness is kind of a distraction for what is to come. That is what I am expecting and hoping for. What I'm worried about is that this is just going to be a lighthearted detective thing and not the true M-rated horror experience the game has been rated as. So we shall see. But I am hopeful nonetheless, and we'll pick it up. I don't know if I'll do this Thursday, but I might do the next chapter Thursday, because the next chapter comes out the 22nd. We'll see what happens. We'll play it by ear. Either way, I will see you all Thursday at the latest. And in the meantime, this has been Monday Scaries. Not too scary this Monday, but that doesn't mean we won't pick things up with Bendy this next Sunday. So stay tuned, and more Fire Emblem on the way. Always more Fire Emblem. Have a good night, everybody.